Here's a review of a game which up until around about a week ago I did not know existed. Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. Now looking at this box art, you have Michael Jordan dual wielding both fire and ice balls. One word. Awesome. Now I came in with this game with a certain level of careful optimism, primarily because there was a game starring another basketball player called Shaq Fu, starring Shaquille O'Neal, which was a piece of shit which made you never want to touch anything to do with basketball ever again. In fact, Electronic Arts do both games though, and I feel like Electronic Arts games are very hit and miss at times. Anyway, on with the review. First thing is the story. It was a windy day in Chicago. First displayment of an all-star Chicago game, Michael Jordan showed up to find his team had disappeared. The stuff is here, but they're not. This is weird. Suddenly, through the skyline, a ball with a note stuck on it.
Mr. Jordan, if you want to save your pals, come to the Egypt room in the Field Museum at midnight. Come alone, Dr. Mad.
So basically, a summary of the plotline is a mad scientist has kidnapped the players of the Chicago Bulls, and you, Michael Jordan, have to go rescue them. And what you have here is your standard big overlay of your world, and then you have your sub-world, and here's your levels. Now, the first level.
It's showtime.
Now that's pretty nice. Now let me just pause here for a minute to give you a quick rundown of things. That there is your health and energy, standard stuff. If it runs out you die and you lose a life. The thing below there is your power up for the time. You've got everything ranging from fire to ice balls to balls which act a bit like boomerangs and stuff that can bounce off the walls. The other thing there is your keys and now you have 3 different types of keys. You've got a silver key which unlock the silver doors, gold keys which unlock the gold doors, and a green key which unlocks certain padlocks in the games. Now you will have to look behind the doors. There are various things ranging from health to power-ups to enemies, and even a hidden warp zone, and even basketball players which are hidden around the level. Now the controls are pretty standard. You use your D-pad to move around the place. You also have 2 different kinds of jump. You've got your standard jump, and you also have a jump that allows you to shoot downwards at an angle. Select changes your keys, and the 2 L and R buttons change your power-ups. So pretty basic at that, but it's not overly complicated. It's not an overly complicated game. Now there are these hoops in the background which contain key items, power-ups, health. One of these will destroy all enemies on the screen, and one of these actually acts as your checkpoint for the level. Now, all the levels have bonus stages here. This one here, you just have to quickly dunk as many baskets in the time allotted. Double time. Now the enemies in this game come in various shapes and forms. You've got bats, which I occasionally refer to as cheap bastards. You've got zombies with basketballs for heads. That's so stupid, it's actually awesome. You've got these weird sort of eye-like creatures that zoom around the place. Some mechanical walking spiders. To electrical metal eels.
Time out.
It's probably the most weirdest one of them all, robotic monkeys. I'm not joking. Now the goal to each level is to get to the end of the level where you're shown this total score sheet which gives you your score for the level. One thing I do like is they allow you to keep hold of all your power-ups, and they also allow you to revisit older levels if you want to. After the 5th level you'll finally meet Dr. Maximus Cranius. He's here to provide us with our first boss of the game. And you wouldn't guess what it is? That's right, it's a monster made completely out of basketballs, which is perhaps maybe one of the weirdest bosses I've ever faced. Double time! That's what I'm talking about. A nice little animation of the end of level boss exploding. And you just need to get this key and that's the first level done. Nice thing here is they give you a password so you can load up your progress whenever you need to. The other levels in this game include train sequences where you fight muggers and a very generic looking photographer. And also dodging overhangs and beams everywhere. That's irresponsible Michael Jordan riding on the outside of a train rather than on the inside. This laboratory, which is very weird and dreamlike at times. Just looking at it, you got weird faces in the background and other weird shit in this level. So this almost weirder looking factory-like level. Not wishing to blow the entire gaming experience for you, so let me just sum my final thoughts up right here. Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City is a pretty decent game. It's very surreal and very weird at times with very weird and wonderful enemies. The gameplay is functional if slightly repetitive at times. The levels will repeat themselves and there's very little to differentiate themselves at times. The bosses, as soon as you know what you're doing, are pretty pathetic at times. All you just need to do is dodge their attacks and hit them in their particular weak spots. Anyway, I recommend you play it, download it, if you can find a copy of it, buy it. It's a pretty decent game. Bye now and I'll see you later.